What's up, everybody? It's Manny Brandon back with Manny's Fitness Fortress, the Citadel of Power. Guys, today we got a great topic. Today we're going to be talking about male fertility and how men that are 80 years old can still produce viable sperm to produce offspring, girls and boys. Today we're going to talk about how Robert De Niro and Al Pacino produced a child both 80 years old and 83 years old respectively. We're also going to talk about why a man's value increases with age as opposed to a typical woman's. And it has nothing to do with what you think. Stay tuned, we're going to get into all this. Are you ready? All right, guys, thanks for joining me. Make sure you check out all the links in the description. Subscribe, hit the notification bell for all notifications, and don't miss any uploads as we produce 1 to 2 uploads weekly, usually between Thursday and Saturday. All right, I'm going to show you guys a clip of Robert De Niro engaging with an interviewer, explaining the experience of fatherhood to his baby girl at 80 years old. And after that, we're going to get into why sperm is viable and why between the ages of 35 and 42, women experience high-risk pregnancy. And this is one reason why men's value as a potential candidate, as a potential date, as a potential father or boyfriend increases. As age comes and men get older, we get more confident, we get more resources. Just check out this clip with Robert De Niro explaining his experience of fatherhood.
It's really interesting. I'm an 80-year-old dad, and it's great. And I want to be around for as long as I can. It feels great because everything that I'm consumed with or worried about or this and that just goes away when I look at her.
I wanted you guys to see that so you are aware that this is no cap. And we got a little clip of Al Pacino, his best friend, that both of these guys became fathers last year. Check out this clip with Al Pacino.
Al Pacino is now a dad to a newborn son. The 83-year-old Oscar winner is officially a father of 4. His rep confirms to Access Hollywood that he and girlfriend Nora Alfalla have welcomed a baby boy named Roman Pacino. Sources told TMZ that the parents are ecstatic about the new arrival. Al's reps confirmed to Access late last month that the House of Gucci actor and his partner were expecting their first child together. NBC News reported that the 29-year-old mom-to-be was 8 months pregnant at the time, and that she and Al had been linked since April of last year. The Hollywood icon is already dad to 33-year-old daughter Julie and 22-year-old twins Anton and Olivia. Before Al, Nora had relationships with Mick Jagger and billionaire Nicholas Berggren. Her and Al's happy news comes weeks after the actor's friend, Robert De Niro, welcomed a baby girl named Gia with his partner, Tiffany Chen, making the 79-year-old a father of 7. Access Hollywood spoke to Robert earlier this month, and he shared his reaction to Al expecting his 4th child.
For you ladies and guys, we're going to go and get into 2 major components that this video is about. Our sperm is still viable, and our value increases with age. The scientific studies behind it, and socially why men are more valuable as we age. First thing, this is one of the reasons why women are advocated to try to acquire relationships early on, marriage early on, because biologically, geriatric pregnancy starts at age 35. It's recommended by doctors that women should not try to produce or should try to pursue a pregnancy between the ages of 38 and 42. It's high risk, and at the age of 45, it's really unlikely. Pregnancy is unlikely. The African American community tends to get married the least and the latest. I'm gonna repeat that. Women in the African American community get married the latest and the least. We're the last to be married. Said 4 out of 5 African American women will not marry. There's a lot of issues dealing with that, health, image, mentality, all that kind of stuff. But the reason why, that's one of the reasons why there's such an influx of black women that either have kids very late or not at all these days. So you want to have kids at a healthy early age because biologically, women of other races also get married between the ages of 19 and 27 before 30. Our women in the black African American community are not getting married. We're the last to get married, or they try to pursue marriage and relationships after 30, after 35, because Somewhere in their minds, they think that we have forever. They think that they have forever. You age, people age. You don't have forever. There's a biological clock, on things like your career, your, birth, relationships, marriage, all that stuff. So women of other races, Caucasian, Asian, Indian, Caribbean, they tend to get married 95% of the time before the age of 30. Most of them in their late 20s. And biologically, this is how women were created, to bear children before the age of 30, actually. So that reason alone, we're gonna get into this. Women's peak reproductive years, it says they're between late teens and late 20s. This is not me, this is science, all right? And like I said, African-American women are outside of this window. Whatever the reason, hot girl summers, think they have forever, they think they're 10s, they're beautiful, they can go on forever, but they don't have a sense of urgency with this subject matter. By the age of 30, fertility starts to decline. Now by the mid-30s, it's really, really difficult for Black women to start to have children, healthy babies. It's high risk. By the age of 45, they say pregnancy is all but impossible. It's very unlikely. And believe it or not, there's an armada of African-American women that are trying to date at age 45, let alone, not having children and pursuing a relationship early on in their life. High-value men tend to seek out women who have less baggage, no children, less experiences, so they can build experiences with them. Now, in contrast, the limited non-renewable numbers of eggs that women have at birth, like I said, as opposed to male bodies producing upwards of 100 to 200 million fresh new sperm every day. So men have no risk of running out of sperm with age, in the case as in the opposing case with women. So this is why Robert Deniro, Al Pacino, and probably hundreds of thousands of millions of other men that are not famous are still having children out there. Men's value rate rises as they get older. Men of status tend to have better increased value, and they tend to date younger women. Late 20s, early 30s, mid 30s. Like Robert De Niro now is 80 years old. Al Pacino is 83 years old, and last year they both had newborn babies. With women, I believe those women were in their late 20s, early 30s. People might see these two actors and say, that's atrocity, that's terrible, that's crazy. But this happens more often than you wouldn't imagine, because high-value men, whether it's Warren Buffett, Bezos, Facebook guy, these guys had, it said that they had a plethora of young women to choose from. So high value doesn't just have to deal with the money, it has to deal with your status. Are you of value to the world and your community? And like your resources. These men tend to take care of themselves, so ultimately they tend to look good for their age. All this is connected. That being said, on the scientific part, we're going to go into the social arena. I'm going to read this off. I want you guys to listen and really check this out. Now, this is about sperm viability. It's about a social status and why younger women tend to be attracted. This is not me. These are studies that have been done. Younger women tend to be attracted to men between the ages of 35 and 39, the most. That's when we start peaking with our resources and our financial situation. But check this out. Now, another factor contributing to hypothesized gender difference in age-related decline in facial attractiveness in men, increased age is generally associated with an increase in social status and resource possession, which in turn enhances their value and attractiveness as potential mating partners, while this occurs a much lesser degree in women. Thus, in men, a health-related decline in facial attractiveness through middle age should be partially compensated and is partially compensated by a status and resource-related increase in facial attractiveness, while no such comparison is expected in women. This, in addition to changes in female reproductive value, should contribute to the greater decline in facial attractiveness in postmenopausal women when compared to same-aged men. the whole reason behind this information in this video is to say, like, usually other ethnicities, women of white, Caucasian background, Asian, Caribbean, Indian, East Asian, their women tend to get married in sync with their biological clock. African American women, for some reason, they want to party, and a lot of them, hang around and have situationships and date for years. And then they think that 30, 35 is the time to settle down and try to look for a mate. But that's backwards. You should be pursuing a mate actually in your late teens, first, second year in college. That's when other ethnic women pursue their life partners. That's when they vet them, whether in college, trade school, or, a daughter being, grandfathered into their father's business, whatever. They pursue relationships and potential life partners in their early to mid 20s, which is opposed to African American women. So that dynamic has to change, so that our African American women can seek and acquire men of higher value when they're younger, because Father Time waits on no one. As you age as a woman, no matter how much money you have, because men don't care about that. We care about family and children. Basically, that's the ultimate, family and children. They don't care about how much money you make. So if you're putting too much stock into pursuing your career and say, I'm going to pursue a relationship after I'm 30, after I'm 40, by then, you're not on the top, tier list of men seeking relationships. And you definitely are beginning to experience high risk pregnancy. So it's a lose-lose situation. So guys, that was the purpose for this whole video, to show you that many women may have not known this. They know that men can continue to have, children past the age of 45, but many of them, I guarantee, didn't know that men's sperm is very viable into their 60s, late 70s, and as you see here, 80s. And as far as women, the egg reproductive fertility is on a decline after age 30. So that's why it's important to acquire, a male counterpart or whatever, a partner early on in your life. You should be hustling and like just beating down the doors with trying to acquire your career, your status, and your partner simultaneously before the age of 30. Not working on your career into age 40 and then trying to seek a life partner, because men's value increases at age. So with age, men that are 80, 60, 70, 50, 40, date women that are 27, 28, 29, 30. That's just the reality. I hope this shed some light on a lot of things. I want to thank you guys for watching and subscribing to the channel. On this channel, we have fitness, nutrition, and health-related content, wellness, as well as some dating advice and vlogs with pertinent issues and pertinent information. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.